well. At the top for Mousesports is Oscar on 6 and 4. The bottom, Rob's 1 and 7. He sometimes does have these maps where he is absent and he needs to pick himself up here. And this is the shot, 149. You'll see it come through. Doesn't connect this time, but always worth a go.
Rain straight out into mid. No lurking this time, just pure entries. Nico's going to be alongside him. And they have perforated through mid again. Guardian is going to chip in and... oh man, Mousesports after going for that tactical timeout, going for the force buy, it's completely backfired. Snacks and Sunny are going to have to pull some serious magic. Out of the hat if they want to pull this one back.
I think you might be right there. It'd have to be a miracle, I would say, at this point. Snacks and real damage inflicted, and that's FaZe just methodical so far. As soon as the pause comes in from Mousesports, you know they're going to be adjusting. They have. You hit them with a hard-hitting, fast-paced round towards middle, they're not going to be ready for that. You haven't shown that yet. They're just adjusting towards themselves towards middle, completely eviscerates whoever's waiting towards short. And the bomb's not even planted yet. They just make sure they hunt for everyone first and everyone with them. This is great. The discipline coming through. A lot of teams would be tempted just to run through and think, oh guys, we're gonna kill them whatever happens. But they're making sure they save every single penny here. Rain covering the flanks. Ultimately not gonna be a huge factor in the round here.
Yeah, with 2 players left, it stands to reason that FaZe would assume both. Funny. They're not actually going to... okay, now they are. For a second, I thought they were going towards car. I was like, hold on a second, boys.
They fancy it. So to be fair, they've got $1,900 coming into their bank accounts next round. So I don't think they'll force it. That's how you get your 50s to go with these. And they've got... there, smokes, flashbangs, definitely worth the save here. A lot of valuable kit, especially those AKs. Players like Sunny and Snacks with AK-47s with the ability to go for the one-taps and go for those, certainly worth saving. And they weren't going to win this round. And exits armored FaZe after this round victory. They've got a couple of rounds in the bag here. And remember, this is one of the few maps we could say is % in it, I would say. But still, FaZe doing a very good job so far. Mousesports still could come back and win the half. We don't normally get too carried away until we get to like round number 13 or 14. We can see where this one's heading. Like I said, Mousesports can't justify that right now. They're going to take 3 full eco players. Snack to Stunny. Pick towards middle, takes down Oscar.
A terrifying prospect for me for Mousesports here is they have not been able to take control of mid whatsoever in this round, almost with no fear, but I want to see what they do when the rifles are in play. Speaking of rifles, Sunny has claimed a kill onto Guardian of his hit points. And this is where FaZe can just slow it down, get methodical again, play that discipline, and get across the 50s as possible. Snacks have to make something special and spectacular himself. Meanwhile, no CTs other than Sunny on very low HP watching A. And it does seem like they're going to be flirting with the bomb carry, just checking behind. Sunny's going to get bolstered up by Chris J. Time starting to become a bit of a nuisance now for the terrorists, but he's good for the kill.
Chris J's going to do very well here to do much more than a little bit of damage. P, down he goes. And a nice plant coming in here. It's not ideal, this plant, but it's better than the very default one. 100% sure what's around the corner. Snacks and indeed Sunny better off to saving their AKs here. Not going to win this round. Very similar situation to the previous. And they get a couple of kills. Well, actually get 1 kill, and it's actually quite significant damage. Unlucky not to get more than that. As Snacks will be heading towards the back of the B side. 8-1 in favor of FaZe. They have looked fantastic through this tournament. The only hiccup, I guess, was against Heroic. They still won, but it went to overtime. No one really expected that.
Yeah, 19-17 in the end, I believe it was. Very close. Heroic showing that they were no pushover in this tournament, but of course, Nip on home soil did best them and move through to the semi-finals. In terms of this map, though, it has been every part is one-sided, as the 8-1 scoreline would suggest. Snacks and Sunny should be able to hold on to their AK-47s. Indeed, they shall. And it's going to be joined by some M4s. There is enough funds to get 2 AWPs in play. It would see Oscar drop to a glass cannon, but Chris J's already gone in for his, and Oscar decides to pick up an M4. So they're going to trade that out for Oscar on the AWP, but only one of them.
AWP gets shuffled around once again. We've had Chris J, Snacks, and Oscar use it. Sometimes Oscar can lose his confidence at points if he feels like he's not getting into the game and hands it over to Chris, or maybe even Snacks at this point, but for now, he's got it in his hands. Oscar is top fragging right now, 6 and 6. Sunny and Co holding towards A. No significant changes from Mousesports. Rob's still holding that white box, and there is a leg shot coming through towards Nico there. And looks like the A execution coming in, thick and fast from FaZe.
Oh, I was going to say, Oscar's going to be called on, but his head's been removed, courtesy of Rain, who's belligerent on his aggression. Rob's still struggling to get any kind of footing in this map. He's going to be leaning on Sunny to clean up as many players on the approach as possible, but it's another post-plant scenario with 4 terrorists remaining, albeit Nico and Carrigan getting low, but Carrigan is going to fight back with the AK headshot. It's still very difficult for the CTs to push now. They have no grenades remaining. Olofmeister is still batting it down from Highway. Nico perched in Squeaky, and Rain playing possum.